I do want to talk for a second. My battery power is kind of dying. About a little bit about survival. A lot of people have I don't know, convinced themselves that they're not animals. Human beings are animals, okay? We are the animal species, and we are animals. And people forget that when they do go into the woods. And they also forget something very, very, very important in my eyes, that you're only at the top of the food chain when you're in the supermarket, okay? Out in the wilderness, nah, you ain't it. And I'm not talking real bush either. I'm talking 90% of the United States is not real bush. What I mean is real bush is places that were out in the wilderness, out in I live in northwest Indiana. 90% of the woods out here, there's like a handful of things that'll kill you. Okay? You go to places like the Everglades for one. Places like Burma. Places like the Amazon, where like a handful of things won't kill you out there. Okay? I mean, you got, in certain parts of the United States, Alaska is definitely one of them. Alaska and Florida, the environment themselves can kill you. Not just the wilderness or the animals. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Bears, lions, tigers, snakes, these are all things that will eat you. Okay, when you go out to the bush, remember you're on the menu. Okay? Remember your place. But also remember your instincts. I notice a lot of people who do go out into the woods a lot and survive, or into this kind of sort of thing, survival type stuff, they have very keen instincts. They know, they got just an instinct of feeling when people are watching them and stuff like that, because they're in tune with their instincts. If your gut tells you something's wrong, probably is something's wrong. So never forget that you're an animal, and never forget your instincts. Like I said about 10 seconds ago, or a minute ago, my battery's dying. Also, one more thing I forgot to tell you. When you're out there in the woods and you make a fire, that's where stuff like this comes in handy. A paracord bracelet. You can cut this down and use it for fire. Sleeves. Okay? You can cut this apart. It's a little long. Because I've got a hat, I won't need the hood. You can actually cut that hood off and use it for fire. Also, one other thing. That's right here. You can actually cut your hair. Take your knife out and slice off some hairs. Use that for kindling. Stuff like that. That strap I got on my bag, it's a couple inches too long. Again, that went from 3 minutes to 7 minutes of time on the battery. I don't know, anyway. But you can use that. Everything that you carry into the woods should have dual purposes. Everything. Maybe not like your individual tools, like your lighter is pretty much good for starting fires. But your fire is good for cooking, it's good for warmth, it's good for morale, it's good for signaling. Your knife is a good tool maker. It's a tool in itself, but it makes tools. It can prepare your food to eat. It can be a defensive weapon in case you gotta fight a cougar or something like that, which may happen. You never know. A mirror can aid you in self-check and doing a tick check of your face and and stuff like that. Let's say, I don't know, you can check your tongue, make sure it's not swelling, make sure it's not a funny color, stuff like that. You can also use it for signaling. You can also use that for morale too. Because sometimes I've heard of people just taking a mirror out and looking at themselves to see another face. Kind of gives you a little psychological help. A whistle. A whistle is good for signaling. It's also good just for the blowing. Just on a little tune. Just remember, 3 blasts is a warning signal. It's help. An axe. An axe is a good tool making, tool gathering, chopping down firewood. It's also a defensive tool. Everything should have dual purposes. Or, if you like the lighter, it's pretty much good for making fire and that's it. But, that fire has multiple purposes. Paracord bracelet. Multiple purposes. The cord itself is good. This can actually help identify you. These have been used in Iraq and Afghanistan to identify U.S. troops. Not so much now today, but it used to be. Only a person that would wear that would be somebody that would be going out into the woods and stuff. Your pants. I was watching Man vs. Wild, and he made a fishnet out of his pants. That's why I would always suggest wearing shorts underneath your pants. When you go out into the bush, wear a light pair of shorts, not like boxers, but a pair of shorts underneath your pants. If you get too hot, you can take your pants off and you're still wearing your shorts, so you don't look like an idiot. You have to walk around in your underwear. You shouldn't be walking around the bush in shorts anyway, but, if you get real hot, you can take your shirt off, you can take your pants off, and you'll have your shorts on, you can go dive into that river, get cooled down, get cleaned up if you want to. Then you got dry clothes to put on. Just lay out in the sun for a couple minutes and get dry. Or if you got a sweater or something, use your sweater. Towel off with your sweater and fling it over your back. Let the sun dry it. Everything has multiple purposes. Everything. Your boots. Boots keep your feet protected to keep your foot warm. They can also be used for stomping spiders. They can also be used for weighting stuff down. Also a good makeshift pillow. I'll talk more about boots and stuff like that later. I just thought about something. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because, like I said, battery's dying. And, yeah.